He has uncovered an incredible secret.
He's got some kind of powerful weapon.
He has harnessed a deadly power.
What you got there? Toy gun?
We have a highly sensitive situation here.
And now, the most dangerous man alive
He can do anything he wants.
is just a boy. Deadly Weapon.
Hey guys, this is Communications. Welcome to my review of Deadly Weapon. Now, this is a interesting oddity. Really more likely I would call it another one of those interesting failure type films, because it's it's one of a kind, but not in necessarily the greatest way. It originally started out as a possible sequel to Laserblast with Charles Band and company, and you can definitely make comparisons between Deadly Weapon and Laserblast. Now, Laserblast was a 70s film with some stop motion animation that looked great back in the day, but doesn't look that great nowadays, and was just really cheesy. This film, on the other hand, decided to go into a totally opposite spectrum. Decided to go from a cheesy B movie to an uber serious cheesy B movie. That's not really a good idea, to go from cheesy B movie to, oh, let's just make this a serious, dead serious, depressing look inside the mind of a inside the mind of a tortured young child. That's not necessarily fun. So anyway, Deadly Weapon, it's interesting. The cast, for one, you got Rodney Eastman, who plays Zeke Robinson, the lead. And Rodney Eastman, you all know, he played one of the Dream Warriors in Nightmare on Elm Street, 3 and 4. I believe he played Joey. Now, he does alright. I like Rodney Eastman. I thought he was good. He was a little, you felt for his character. Zeke, what a shitty raw deal this character has gotten for his life. His father is in jail. His mother doesn't give a shit about him. He lives with his stepdad, who is a absolutely shit-faced drunk. Who beats him and, asks him to go get more booze. He's got a sister who doesn't like him, also lives in with him. And he lives somewhere in King B, Arizona, in the middle of nowhere. And when he goes to school, he gets his ass kicked by these group of bullies, who then, they still follow him around even after school and kick his ass. He's got a broken wrist. The only friend he has, is maybe his dog, and his fucking crazy dad kills his fucking dog. So, this is just a really fucking down, depressing sort of story, really. And it might work if it ends up if you end up seeing some sort of, revelation with the character, because he's a rebel, and maybe he realizes being a rebel and being alone sucks, but you never get that here. There's no revelation that this character has. He finds this laser weapon, this laser gun in a river, and he takes it home, and he's doing all this crap. His dad goes in and, comes with a bat, and he's all baseball bat, and he's like, "Where's my friggin' booze, boy?" And throws some coins at him to go get some booze. I'm like, he's a minor, he's 15, where is he going to get this alcohol? And he goes in to go get the alcohol, and he gets his ass kicked by these freaking bullies, and they step on his cast, and he goes back to his house, and his freaking drunk ass dad basically threatens to beat the shit out of him. He hides into his bedroom, and his dad goes all shining, decides to go all shining, all Jack Torrance style on his door, and bash it to pieces with his bat, and keep telling about some monster who's going to get him or some shit. And then Rodney Eastman, the only way he can escape from this asshole drunk dad is to jump out a window. So he jumps out a window, runs into his garage, he hides with his dog, and the fucking dad comes in, beats the shit out of it, kills his dog with a bat, and then, like, what the fuck? And then, of course, he takes the laser gun and fucking fries the stepdad, and you're like, alright, finally, okay. But after that, the film just doesn't really take off. It starts off interesting enough. It starts off with really weird opening credits, which starts out saying that this film takes place inside the mind of a 15-year-old boy, and it takes place around the times of this and this and this and that. And I'm like, what? Takes place inside the mind of a 15-year-old boy? Who wrote this? What is it? Michael Miner? And George Lafayette? I mean, Michael Miner, the same Michael Miner who helped co-write RoboCop. And Michael Miner also directs this. And it's not like it's not the worst directing. The directing is an issue here. It's the tone. The film is taken way too seriously. You see the trailer for this film, which hopefully I'll have before this video. You see the trailer, and it looks like fun. You watch the movie, and it's fucking depressing. It's like, why did this need to be a drama about, teen suicide? I don't understand that. It just seems pretentious and just honestly not needed. So you have Rodney Eastman. He does the best with what he can. The special effects are pretty cool. Or, the stuff with the laser gun. It basically lights people on fire. You also have another, actor from a B movie, a cult classic. You have, I love how it likes to say Walter Koenig isn't. Walter Koenig was in this? I didn't see Walter Koenig at all. That had to be in a deleted scene, or he was in the Blink and I'll Miss It cameo. You have Barney Martin, who is, I believe he's Seinfeld's dad on Seinfeld. He plays a mayor. Sasha Jensen as Martin. I'm trying to remember who's the girl. Susan Blue. No, Tracy. It's Tracy. Well, who plays Tracy? I think it's Kim Walker. Yeah. I think it's Kim Walker anyway, plays Tracy. Yeah, Kim Walker plays Tracy. And Kim Walker was actually in Heathers. And she played the bitchy friend of Winona Ryder who died, falling through a plate glass table. Now, her character is basically a daddy's girl, and she was hanging out with the bullies earlier in the film, and she decides to be Rodney's girlfriend, Zeke's girlfriend, and he finds out later in the film that she's just hanging out with him for kicks. And, then he realizes nobody loves me, nobody wants me, my mom hates me, my dad's in prison, my stepdad's dead, he's a dick, my sister doesn't care, nobody gives a shit about me. And he's deluded, he's so deluded in his mind that he thinks that he's an alien from another planet, and that's repeated throughout the whole film. And it's like Rodney Eastman narrates the film, too. And it's interesting. And he does a good job, but I just wish he had a better film, because this movie is just so out of whack. It's not even funny, to be honest. So, he shoots a laser gun in the air, trying to hope the aliens will come, and of course they don't. But then they have this sort of suspense about, having this military team sent out to take him out. And, there's this other military guy who wants to help him and trying to make it so he doesn't have to die. So maybe then just send him to juvie hall or something. And, the whole film seems hopeless and lost. And you have Gary Kroeger who shows up, and Gary Kroeger was in SNL, one of the earlier seasons in the 80s, late 80s, I think, one of the much maligned seasons. And he's in it, and, he plays one of these, vid-peep, vid peep guys, kind of like, National Enquirer, and he does an interview and everything with Rodney Eastman's character, and he has a good line, right? Zeke talks about, I have all this power, but, I'm not sure if I like it or not. And there's some good social commentary with this film, but to be honest, it's too much social commentary and not enough fun. And this is an idea that should be a fun film. It should be like, hey, Rodney Eastman, a dream warrior, getting revenge on these asshole bullies who beat the shit out of him, getting out of a bad situation. How about maybe he gets revenge at the same time saves the world, from alien invaders and shoots them with the laser gun. That's not what happens here. It's just a complete clusterfuck because it is so serious and depressing, and it's in the end, Rodney Eastman's character Zeke ends up getting killed by the military. So basically, all you get is basically nothing. You get a really sad story with good special effects and a decent score and some decent acting by the supporting cast, and it's well directed, and the script and idea is cool, but it's just much ado about nothing because it's not a film you want to watch over and over again because it's not A, not entertaining, B, it's incredibly depressing and sad, and C, it just doesn't work. And it's really too bad. This Deadly Weapon is without a doubt a misfire. It's a misfire. It's on YouTube in really bad quality, and this tape is the best. I mean, if anybody's curious, I can rip it, and I can post it somewhere. But it's the problem isn't with the acting or the performances. It's the whole story. It's taken way too seriously. It's way too much social commentary and not enough. It doesn't learn how to have fun with itself. And it's a really fun idea. A kid finds a laser gun, and what else what's he gonna do with it? Is he gonna get revenge? Is he gonna play some tricks on these bullies? He does that, but then it devolves into a really sort of tedious, boring, slow melodrama. And you're kind of like, why? At the same time, I'm like, it was interesting. It kept my interest. I wasn't really thoroughly bored or wasn't really thoroughly entertained throughout the whole film. It's just one of those films where I'm like, it wasn't the worst thing ever. It wasn't very good either, but it was watchable, I guess, because it's a curiosity piece. I recommend people give it a look because it's just a curiosity piece, just to see how much potential this film has. It's such good potential, and for it to waste it by just taking itself so seriously is just mind-boggling. It just baffles my mind. I can't believe it. My brain's still so scrambling right now, just trying to make sense out of it. Why the decision was made to make this film, basically, when you think about it, long and hard about it, about teenage suicide. I mean, wow. And from the writer of RoboCop. I mean, and produced by Peter Manoogian, who directed Mandroid, remember correctly. I think he directed Mandroid or directed Eliminators. I know Peter Manoogian directed some Full Moon flicks. But I really don't know what to say because the plot's pretty much the troubled kid, treated like shit, finds a laser weapon, gets some good licks in on his bullies, on his enemies, decides to take some people in the town hostage. And that was kind of goofy the way he does it. He takes out some wires from a pinball machine, plugs them into a wall, and lightly shocks them, I guess. I didn't know that was possible. I thought if you're shocking somebody, you're just going to shock them. It'd be electrocution. I didn't know there was such a thing as lightly electrocuting somebody. But, maybe this film was right. I don't know. And stuff with the Brid Peep stuff, the military. There's a lot of shots in the military trying to figure out how to kill this kid. And there's this, the FBI gets involved, or CIA, or whatever the fuck it is. There's an asshole freaking military guy who basically wants to kill the kid. There's another guy who wants to help him. There's the general who's a slob and is basically a lazy SOB, sleep at the wheel half the time. And none of the action sequences are really all that thrilling. Nothing is really all that memorable about the film. And that's really when you think about it, it just comes and goes. It's got a good performance by Rodney Eastman. I will give him that. A good, cool, 80s metal soundtrack, which is pretty cool. But I consider it a lost opportunity, to make a really fun film. And instead it just decides to just be, I don't know, afternoon special, after school special. I mean, I just don't understand why it chose this direction to go. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I take out of it. The fact that it's just so serious, it just blows my mind. But anyway, I really don't know what to say about Deadly Weapon, and you know, other than if I was gonna rate it out of 5 stars, I think I can give it 2. You know, actually, I'll give it 2.5. I've seen worse, I've seen better. I like the idea. At points, the seriousness does work, but in the end, it just weighs it down.